professional. Why have we fallen so far behind in Realtor CA? I mean, you're organized real estate, you've been there. Why was the private sector doing better than Realtor CA? Why should we? We're like so behind.
I'll give you the answer. I'll give you the answer in nine numbers. $650 million spent every single year just in R&D alone. By Zillow. These companies, these venture capitalist companies, they're throwing money to these here. $650 million just on research and development. Realtor.ca is using R&D as rip-off and duplicate at a budget which is about this big. If we as an industry, as organized real estate, let me say it this way. If organized real estate, not we, wants to have a website that competes with the private sector, all your dues have to quadruple. Maybe 10 times, actually. Do the math. It's crazy.
Why? We could have done it the same thing with private sector funding.
Well, possibly, but that's, I get it. But, you know, we're talking about, the reality is we're here today, right? Like right now, Zillow is going to be in Canada. I don't make arbitrary decisions. I like to get feedback from all of you. How many people here, as an agent, your business, only your business, want to participate with Zillow? More than half, right? More than half. So let me give you some perspective here, what I'm saying. If any one of you have ever come to me and sent me a data transfer agreement, have I ever refused it?
No.
Have I ever refused a virtual office website data transfer agreement from anybody in this room?
No.
No.
This is no different, guys. This is no different. You come to me and you say, I want to participate in Zillow, I'm going to sign it because it's your business. And that's the way you feel you want to make bread for your table, and I'm going to support you. If you feel or believe that I believe that this is a game changer for your business, it's not a negative game changer. It's not going to affect your business negatively. If you want to hold on with your fingernails on the edge of the cliff and say, don't you dare give this data, did you pick the picture? Everybody around you will. This is not a game changer. This is about how you want to run your business. Andre.
Sorry, I might be not understanding this, but why not go with Zillow? Why not sign up with Zillow?
I'm not saying that. I'm asking for feedback with people, you know, of what they feel about this platform. Because if they're not going to do it, see, I was going to say, let you decide. Let each and every single person in this room decide. You come to me with a data transfer agreement, I sign it.
Is there a downside? Things what others.
In my opinion, there's no downside. Jeff.
The bottom line is, we're all afraid of change. We're afraid of these new shiny objects. But the reality is, out there in the big world, technology is flowing. And you're either going to embrace it or you're going to fall behind it. Zillow, as much as we may not understand, may not like, may whatever, the fact is it's another lead gen tool for you. So yes, there's going to be so many other agents out there that are going to be involved, but the fact is it's another way of you attracting leads and in your unique way getting more business. They're coming, whether we like it or not, they're here.
Before I make it, sorry.
Yeah, it's either take it or don't, and that, you know.
So before I go on to the next comment, I want to ask you a question to put in perspective. If I am at my desk and I receive a data transfer agreement for a VOW for any one of you, are you not, in essence, creating a Zillow? Is it every single day that you hire a web company to promote listings, that you sign off to give all the listings, isn't that really, in essence, not a Zillow? Aren't you each a Zillow? Do you see where I'm coming from with this? They just have more money, and they're more organized, and they're doing it the same way. Right? Gina?
Is it just like Realtor.ca? Basically, it's just
No,
Realtor.ca.
it's on steroids. The idea of it is,
But
yeah.
it's the same thing, only bigger is my understanding. We were all freaked out about MLS.com and one and Real.ca. It's the same thing. It seems to be just.
The internet is not a
It
fad.
just seems to be a little bit.
The internet is not a fad.
No, exactly. This just seems to be just bigger, better, shinier.
Yeah. Jeff, Linda, Barry.
It's very simply, it's like any other website you have out there. You're hoping that someone's going to email you, click on your site, want to talk to you in any way. This, you can be sitting at your desk or on your phone, all of a sudden, boom, leads come to you.
Now, I will share something though. Before I go to Linda and then Barry. If you participate in a zip code, I'm going to give you some perspective, okay? Let's do Leaside. So Sherry, you're in Leaside, and you're bidding on the impressions. There could be 2 or 3 other agents bidding on the impressions will drive your price up. Now you get caught into this vicious, I gotta be the bigger bidder. And it might not bankrupt you because you're a smart business lady, but it could bankrupt some people. Figure that this is the answer. Do you hear what I'm saying? So you have to have some self-control here.
Yeah.
You can pay-per-click yourself out of business, right? So you have to understand that.
So this is free.
Pardon me?
It's free for listing agents.
It's free for listing agents. You're creating, okay, before we go to, sorry Linda, I know you're waiting. So what we have is this. Every single person will have a profile, and that's free.
If the brokerage.
So Facebook is not really free, guys. You know that, right? Like Facebook's not really free. Like it's free because you're giving them data. Like it's the only industry in the world where you're giving a company all the information they need to have a profitable business. It's no different here. We're giving them listings and information. They're writing content, right? So you're going to go up, you're going to create a profile on Zillow. And you're going to be...
Subscribe as a brokerage.
So ask yourself as a brokerage, any one of our agents will log in, create a user account, and you'll create a profile. Your picture, you'll upload your testimonial reviews, you'll upload your past, information to make you look, like you're there. And then any new listings you get will be assigned to the listing agent, not to anybody else. However, there will be below that, within a year from now, 3 other choices that have reviews. So even though you're a listing agent, there could be 3 other agents somewhere on the page at the bottom that have better reviews or similar reviews, in there, okay? As a buyer's agent, you can advertise to capture leads that are in there, so you won't be the 3rd or 4th person of those 3 or 4 people, you'll be the 1st person, okay? Now, if somebody's doing a search in Leaside, the person who has the highest spend, or the top 2 or 3 spends, their faces will come up first, right? To be able to look. But the listing itself will have a listing agent's name on it. Still, the way it is today, the way every single website is today, the listing agent's name is still there. But this gives you a platform to advertise and create some leads as well. Okay? Linda.
As I understand it, things will be automatically, all the listings will be automatically submitted to Zillow like they are to real estate. Realtor.
So a big myth here is this. Not every listing is actually provided through the IDX feed. Only 48 or 49% of all listings are actually on everybody's website. Because not everybody is actually sharing their listings. The only place that every single listing is actually visible is on a virtual office website, which is a password-protected environment. Okay? Our websites are going to have every single listing and every single sold as of today. Because today is the first day that TREP has released the new data transfer agreement, allowing us to do it legally. So what Joel didn't share here today, or didn't realize today, is that he said, I'm going to play by the rules. He doesn't know that the rules start today. So I know the rules start today. So as of today, Zillow will have the same information as all of us behind a password-protected website. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you again. One second, I'm going to go to Barry first and then come back, and then Gil. This is no different than any one of you starting a virtual office website today. Just that they have more resources and money and you're doing it anyway. It's no different than Realtor.ca. And if I know this, correct me if I'm wrong, how many of you have complained to me that certain companies have your listing on their number one search before you do. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Your clients call you and say, I searched my listing and it showed up on Bill's website before yours, Tim. Why? Because they're doing SEO, they're doing stuff, right? They're gonna blow your doors off with this stuff. Might as well have your listing there, and then when you put in 123 Banana Street, your name comes up as the listing agent first before even the other ones that are already doing it to you. You follow? Barry, then Gil, then Ernestina.
If I can make an observation. 50 years of real estate. I had the 35th pager in all of Toronto. I've always embraced technology. So what you do is you can't fight it, it's there.
You're not gonna fight it, guys.
So what you do is you learn as much as you can, but that's not where I'm going. What you have to look at is today we spend money on professional pictures, maybe floor plans, we put signs up, we have dues. This adds a next layer of cost to what we do. So you have to be cognizant at all times when you take a listing that not only are you taking a listing, you're investing your money and your time in the listing. So if you go on to this plan and add it as a layer to your costs, stop taking overpriced stupid listings. Because I say to clients, your listing cost me $3,000. Before I start to work with you, I'm investing with you. And if they don't want my price, that's it.
Different approach.
So therefore, you have to look at your costs, and this is very important.
So you don't have to, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to advertise one single penny with Zillow. Your listing will show up and your face will be first with that listing. Like, let's keep things in perspective here. You do not have to spend a single dollar on Zillow. You get a listing, it shows up. End of story. If you want to own a postal code, if you want to own Forest Hill, Leaside, Davisville, East York, Leslieville, Trinity Bellwoods, you know, on and on and on. If you pick that area and you spend, the odds of you getting leads from that area is where the investment is.
As the buyer's
As a buyer's agent primarily, because as a listing agent, you win no matter what, it's your listing. Right? Now, what Zillow is saying, which wraps everything back to what we've been discussing through Broker Bay and through 121 QA, you can be the listing agent with 2 reviews, and the next agent the same who bought. So your listing is in Trinity Bellwoods, and you don't specialize in Trinity Bellwoods, and you only have 2 reviews. And Rob here has 48 reviews in Trinity Bellwoods. You might be the listing agent, but that client might click on that person because they got 4.8 reviews for that area, and they feel more compelled to call that agent. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry, I gotta wait, sorry. I got Gil, Ernestina, and then you. I gotta get a shot. Gil?
Will there be forms there where anybody can actually submit an offer on that webpage?
No.
No.
Ernestina, then Jeff.
So if I understand the advantage of a listing agent is that your name is going to be displayed. But for people that are looking to buy and to get buyer's leads, that's a disadvantage. Because right now you have your own website, or you work with, people like your lead agent locator or whatever. You have an option to display listing brokerage's phone number, brokerage's name, or full information of a listing agent. So that way, if the buyer comes in and sees the listing, they're not going to call you, who is paying for the advertisement for a buyer's lead, so they can call potentially the listing agent.
I understand. But see, that's not going to change, Ernestina. Right now it's happening already. Right? Like, this is not about, like, again, this is not about, all the listings are going to appear on this website. They're already appearing on Glenn's website, Bill's website, Naz's website, Ruth's website. All the listings are already appearing there. And the people who are spending money to have that listing show up first will show up before your website.
Yes, I understand that. But the contact information on the listing is not full name of
It will be.
agent.
Yes, it will be.
For Zillow.
Yes.
But that's a disadvantage for buyer leads, because for our website, we can set it up, we have only brokerage's name, and just say Forestville.
But you won't be able to stop that. Sorry, like you won't be, Jeff?
So to her point, just so you know, basically on any of these big websites that are out in the middle to us now, your information is the first thing they see. If they scroll to the bottom, it'll say owned by Forestville, owned by
But
that.
not through the name of the listing agent, and not necessarily listing agent cell phone number.
You're
or
right. So
anything else.
it's two different
I'm told.
things. It's two different things. From a buyer lead perspective, you don't care who owns. You as a buyer lead, that you as a buyer agent, that you want those leads, you want your information, which is what they see. So they're going to contact you. And as far as my own website, hey, I have a great site, but the truth is, how much I generate compared to what they generate already, agent locator, who cares? It doesn't matter to me, right? They're generating so much more and they're focused on that every day that I would rather advertise with them and get that information. So to my point, the only thing controversial that I'm going to say is I caution everybody downloading all of your stuff into that. From a buyer lead perspective, awesome. To put your agent information on, awesome. To put your own data in there, no.
Okay, so let me comment on that if you don't mind.
Yes.
I will share this stat with you. It's very, very important. Only 10% of realtors in the industry adopt. Guys, there's going to be maybe a fire alarm. They're doing a security test. Do not get up. There's no fire. Zillow did not set the building on fire before they left. Okay. So only 10% of realtors adopt a CRM from a brokerage. Client relationship module, right? Like, you know, where you put next call date and everything else. You know why? Because you're fearful of your data being taken somewhere. So I agree with Jeff. You don't put all your, like, don't use your CRM. Like, you're getting hooked into something, but use it for a lead database and everything else, right? I'm gonna move on to Paulette. Jeff,
Sorry, just to finish my point. So all the big sites like Facebook, Twitter, you put all the pictures you want on there, your kids, your this, your that. They're scrubbing the data behind the scenes and selling it off. Oh, so Janie's getting married. Let's send it to all the wedding companies that can start advertising. So in your feeds, you notice you may speak about something, cats. You don't have a cat, but all of a sudden you speak about it. All of a sudden, pet food companies and cats are being advertised to you. So all I'm saying is, Zillow, for me, I'm going to advertise it because I think it's a great tool. What I won't do is put in all the deals I've done and everything else saying, oh, I have this, I have that. And all of a sudden, they're going to start grabbing the data and selling it off to other companies. That is software nowadays. That's reality. Every company does it, right?
Thank you. Paulette, then I'm gonna move on to, please, Paulette.
Yeah, just wanted clarity on what you just saying, what's the thing about like physical and stuff, that they're not,
So FISBOs are going to be on the website. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Are mere posts going to be on virtual office websites? Yes. Guys, it's just perspective, right? Like, it's already here in a different way. Like, we gotta wrap our minds around, and that's not about you, Paulette, it's about just generally speaking. Mere posts are, in essence, they're paying a fee to not have any representation whatsoever, but to be access to a website that they believe will sell their house. It's no different than Zillow. They want to put the listing on a website that they believe they're going to sell their house. But that gives you now the opportunity to actually contact them and find them and speak to them. Okay? So there's always going on. So, show of hands, guys. Show of hands. I just want to get a feel. How many people are going to use the Zillow platform?
Absolutely.
So, you got a choice. I can sit back and let everybody else around us do it first, or second, or third, or I could just do it because it's the best thing to do for your business, and that's what I'm going to do. And I would never make an arbitrary decision on anything without having a meeting for future reference, folks, just so you know, okay? Now, let's move on, because I want to finish the meeting. I want to thank you. Over the past year, it's been an unbelievable experience. I've had the privilege of traveling around the world, being in meetings. I went to San Diego, I met with them, I saw what these people were doing. I've been in New York, San Diego, France, Vancouver, Calgary. It's been a lot. But many goals were accomplished, but I'm back. And I really miss you guys, right? And I want to sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for understanding that I was in many places at the same time. And I really hope that the experience that I participated in as an industry in some shape, form, way helped your business too. I will share that there are many stories that I've received from people that have secured business because of it. Maybe they drop the fact of, you know, they're associated with everything else. I did receive a couple phone calls from people who wanted to sell their house, and I actually assigned them to the next person in line. No referral, nothing, and so I know it helped that way too. But the bottom line is that the one thing that pains me the most on a day-to-day basis is when people don't succeed. There's nothing that pains me more in my life than watching people not succeed, or witnessing or hearing about it, and me not being able to help, right? And my time was really constrained, and I'm back. I know there's a lot of changes. During my time there were some great leaders within our admin team, and our support team, and our leadership team. And there were some who just did not display the same leadership that I thought that they could or would or could have taken advantage of. And there are going to be some changes. But the changes are going to be positive because it's all about building your business and helping you in the image that you know what the vision is. I want to do a special thank you to General Brian and Larry Sirkwa. I mean, these two people, they just grabbed the goal and they were there, and they covered for me all the time when I couldn't, and sometimes we just email back and forth and text back and forth. I just want to thank from my heart, because without you, I don't think there would have been a company left. Jen, the event we did at the Women's Network was unbelievable for those who attended. The feedback was amazing, and thank you. Larry, you're a rock. You're awesome. And this guy's knowledge of the industry is second to none. I mean, we debate some things, and sometimes I buy him lunch because I'm wrong, and most times he buys me lunch because he's wrong. But anyway, I'm kidding. We buy each other lunch about 50-50. Again, I know what has to be done, and it will, and you have all rose to the challenge over the past year. I didn't receive any complaints. I didn't receive anything that really made me feel that, you know, eek, right? And I want you to know something else that you don't know. Over the past 4 or 5 months, we've actually decreased by more rates than we've actually increased. And that's happened because we've had special conversations with people who are no longer really doing business, shouldn't be in the business, or just, we don't get it, right? And a lot of people have increased, we're not. We're looking at a team that's solid, that works together, wants to be together, and this is a career, it's not a part-time hobby. And my guarantee to you, my promise to you is that we'll never, you know, hire people and associate ourselves with people that I wouldn't be proud to introduce to you, okay? And that's the thing going forward. Next slide, please, if you don't mind. Decision. It came through, you know what it is now. Does anybody have any questions about it? Really high level. This was never a decision based on sold data. It was a decision based on pending sold data. This is the biggest argument. The argument was never on sold data. Nobody ever cared about sold data. People wanted to have sold data for everybody's website. It's the litigation possibilities by having pending sold data available for everybody to see, because then you would not be able to achieve the same value for your client if the deal fell through. And then who's responsible? Now, we thought that we had to prepare a document to have all your clients sign with every single listing, but we're not going to need to do that because the new listing agreements and everything else will have that consent put in there, and it will have everybody understanding that their pending sold data will be visible in a password-protected environment. Okay? So, all the pending sold data, the sold data, is not for you to put on your website. It's for you to put on your virtual office website, which means only your clients who have a username and password can see sold data. It's confusing, right? So we have a website, and you go to Toronto Homes for Sale, and you see everything for sale. And on the right, it says, log in to see all the sold in your neighborhood. Once you create a username and password, then people can see sold data. Sold data is not for everybody to see just by going to a website. When you go to Zillow, for example, you set up a user account, and then you see sold data. Make sense? The biggest misconception out there, a lot of realtors screaming and yelling on social media, is that why won't Trev let us have sold data on our website? No, nobody said you can't have sold data. It has to be behind a password-protected environment. The same way it is everywhere else in the world. Make sense? Everywhere in the world, sold data is available behind a password-protected environment, not just out there for everybody to see. So, advising your clients, I still think you should have a conversation with them. And what does it mean to your business? Absolutely zip to your business. It means nothing to your business. Sold data will not take away any of the value proposition that you have. And if you believe that the MLS is your value proposition, you've already had a problem before even this happened. Mary?
Do you foresee any lawsuits? I don't know if they would be advanced, but the publishing of petition I know or on a connected website, the publishing of additionally second.
I can't see why it possibly can't happen. I mean, people sue for hot coffee. That's why they have a hot coffee sticker on a coffee.
Wait, just to be clear,
Yeah.
explain, when you talked about during, when you used the word pending, did you mean between sold?
Sold firm to close.
Okay, but in our last meeting, you were talking about releasing sale prices conditionally.
No, not conditionally sold prices. No, it's sold firm to close. Ruth?
Exclusive sold prices, they don't get it.
The MLS has nothing to do with exclusive solds. The MLS is, Trev is only involved in the MLS and the MLS space alone. So exclusives will never be up there for anybody to see. Okay? So this means nothing to your business, we just move on. Daniel? So remember what I said to you back in January. I had this slide up back then. If you guys go to your slides and your pictures, you'll see it. I showed a ship going into the clouds of a storm. I said, sailors prepare and are ready for whatever happens. They don't jump ship. They signed up for storms and so did you. Prediction, 90,000 sales in 2018. I'm going to report to you that we're not going to hit 90,000 sales. We're going to hit around 83 or 84. Next slide, then. And put things in perspective to you, this is where we're at. In 2012, there were 35,000 members, and we had 85,000 sales. 13, 37,000, 87,000 sales. 14, 40,000 members, 92,000 sales. Then we got to 101, 113, and last year we dropped to 92,000 sales. And we have 50,000 members. How many people believe or know what the numbers are going to be this year? I say about 83 or 84,000. So we're going to be the lowest we've been probably since 2010 in sales. To put it in perspective, every home represents $65,000 in spin-off business. For every 10,000 increments, it's $650 million lost in spin-off business. 30,000, 1.8 billion. Next slide. So what I'm trying to share with you here is that rates may increase by another quarter point by the end of the year. But the good news is the majority of all these stress tests and everything else that's going on is starting to flush its way through. I can share with you that many of you have come to me and said, I got 5 listings coming up. I got 3 listings coming up. I got 6 coming up. I had 6 offers on my listing, 8 offers on my listing, 2 offers on my listing. What we had was this. The springtime was our fall market. The fall market will be somewhat like our springtime. You follow me? So why am I saying that? It's because the numbers are pointing in that direction, everything that we see, from our appointments to our deal processing to everything that's going on. I'm seeing that there's a lot of people. I have that some employment numbers are changing, that's a big problem, but this is what I want to really show you right here. In my honest opinion, there are 60 to 80,000 buyers. The city of Toronto is going to hit $1 billion this year in land transfer tax raised. $1 billion. They were half $1 billion just a couple of years ago. They're at $1 billion today, right? So what do I see? I see that the outlying areas are starting to heat up. Not the East End as much. I'm seeing the West, Brampton, Mississauga, Etobicoke. Those areas are starting to really pick up quite a bit. I see a lot of heat in that area. I see that the East End not as much, but there is some messaging there that's going on. And what are you doing to get your share? But take advantage of the rental market. We have agents in our company who are doing up to 14 rentals a month. Rentals are no longer a $650 basement apartment. Rentals are $2,000 and $3,000 per end. I've seen them. They're crazy. We get a lot of rent. Lately, the last 6 months to a year, I've told you this in the last meeting, we're getting more and more rentals. Please, ladies and gentlemen, stop thinking that rentals are a waste of time. Stop thinking that they're too much work. You're not working anyway. If you're not working, how is it too much work? I'm going to ask you a question. If I told you right now I have a $5,000 check in Pickering, go pick it up and it's completely yours, who would go? And you won't go to a rental? Come on. Please. I'm going to give you a story. And there's a gentleman in the room who knows the story very well. I call it the Zara effect. Michael Zara, I met in 1994. He wanted to rent at Seneca Hill, which is Finch and 404. Michael Zara did a rental with me. And then he bought an investment property in East York. And then he sold, then he bought a condo. Then he sold his condo and bought a house. And then I sold his investment property. And then he sold his house again and bought a big house in Vaughan. And right now he's the CEO of Corporate Express. And he started from a rental. A one-bedroom, Seneca Hill, Finch and 404. How many deals did I just tell you he did with them in 10 or 12 years? 7 or 8? I did 7 or 8 deals. His last house, one of our agents, Carrie, helped him with, because I don't cuss anymore. Right?
And I did a big seminar for his corporate office.
And he did a seminar for his corporate office. So I mean, every single person is like birthed into real estate, right? Like, now I'm renting. And by the way, more and more people can't buy right off the bat. More and more people have to rent to start. But imagine if you sent these people who are renting 6 months before the rental was due, how much you could afford to buy based on the rent that they're spending on. Can you not convert them into a buy quicker? Come on. They're all there. And as the values in Toronto start to increase, there may be more of the amount of sales that exist. Meaning, we may not see 100,000 sales for 2 or 3 years, but we may see 20,000 extra rentals. Because that's where the market is. The rental market right now is on fire. Do not turn your sights away from the rental market. I know it sucks, it's $1,000 bucks. But I'll tell you what I'll do. Don't worry about the $1,000 bucks. Monday morning, any one of you can come work at front desk for 14 bucks an hour. And when you hit $1,000 bucks, in 2.5, 3 weeks from now, we'll talk about what you have actually rather wanted to do.
It's not the money, it's paperwork phobia.
Well, it's paperwork phobia with everything that we do, but at the end of the day, I'm just giving you some perspective here, guys. I'm just giving you some perspective. Like, we forget that we're in the real estate business. We're not in the sales business only, we're in all types of business. And once we do a few sales, I can't do that. I'm never going to forget an agent that used to be with us, who's no longer with us after many, many years of being with us, sat down across the table from me, and the gentleman said, Tim, I'm having a real hard time. I'm like, okay, have you done open houses? After 15 years? I can't do open houses anymore. Just door knock? After 15 years, you're gonna door knock? Did you cold call? Oh, come on, Tim, like, I gotta call like 1,000 people before I get one deal. Did you call your past clients? Oh, they're all liars, they don't even like me, I don't like them. So why are you in the real estate business then? I don't think this business is for you anymore. Do you see where I'm coming from? I showed you a video at the beginning because sometimes procrastination, career, health, and everything else is what we focus on. And we're not focusing on the bright sun. But the bright sun will only come out if you elevate yourself. And I wanted to share that with you. And I have that thing up there because it all starts when you envision the opportunity and you embrace the possibilities. Never forget that. Next slide, please. Our new dentist office. The rental's on its way. That graffiti is not the final graffiti, but we are going to graffiti the whole side building. And the graffiti's going to start in the next 2-3 days. So it's going to be really, really cool. We're at the drywall stage right now. We're hoping to be open by sometime in November. But I'm just saying end of the year because I like to under-promise and over-deliver. Okay? Dundas and Euclid. It's a fantastic location. One lucky agent is going to have a safe for an office. So the door will be, like one of the walls will be the safe door. And another unlucky agent will have the actual safe for their office. Social media and what may be affecting your business, please, if you don't mind. Just a minute and a half, guys. So familiar?
So, good morning. Yesterday, I promised that I'd share an answer that I gave to one of the CEOs who was part of our special elite forum that I had. Like me, he's also the face and voice of his company. So here's the question as he put it to me. He asked, I write newsletters, I do videos, I do all kinds of stuff that we send out to clients. Should I be trying to hide the fact that I'm now living in Coronado, San Diego, even when my real estate business is in Arizona? Or should I even emphasize it? Like in the newsletter, I was going to write an article about making this move. I think it's a unique and interesting story, but perhaps people will be turned off by an absentee owner. Alternatively, I could lean into it. I could talk about following your dreams, building a real estate business. What would you advise? So here's my answer, exactly as I wrote it to him. This was done via email, by the way. I wrote, just be selective about what you post and what you talk about. Always ask yourself, does this help or hurt? Will this produce a net positive or a net negative or neutral? Start off there. Assess it through the eyes of your client. What do they benefit from that post? What's in it for them? Do they care? Is it about you, or more appropriately, about them? You are here to serve them, not you. Or let's just say you serve yourself only by serving them. So everything then is about them. Keep in mind you are doing social media for business. So many people lose sight of that simple fact and ruin their business with their personal musings. My criteria for my social media manager is, and I'm going to pause here for a second, that's a big tip right there, I never post myself on social. I have someone brilliant who does that better than I would. It's my content, my thoughts, and my ideas, but I am not the one functionally doing it. Just like I don't stuff my own direct mail letters, even though it has my thoughts and content inside, I don't post my own social media. There are better, less expensive people that can do it versus you doing it yourself. End pause. So going back to my number one criteria for my social media manager, does this have value to the viewer? To them. Not me, not only our brand, to them as individuals aspiring to increase their success and grow their influence. If not, don't post it, period. Otherwise, what's the point? Now granted, I do social media very differently than most, so I'm not the only voice you should listen to on this subject. But I would say, what you don't post can't hurt you. What you do post can. So be careful about what you post. Err on the not posting versus post that can cost you or have little to no value and then just turn a deaf ear to your audience from that point forward. You'll also notice that I don't flaunt my lifestyle on social. For one, I think most social is crap, noise, distraction, and narcissism run amok. But that aside, I think think the cost is too great. I always have three people in mind when posting anything publicly. Number one, my team. How would flaunting my lifestyle affect my team? Probably not good. So why the heck would I do it? Number two, my clients. I don't want my doctor or lawyer flaunting their lifestyle afforded by my invoice payment. Number three, the community. My lifestyle is mostly unrelatable to 99% of everyone connected to me on social or everywhere else virtually. My flaunting my lifestyle only makes me look douchey and alienates people from me. All three are reasons that are way too costly in my view. My best advice here is this: be sure that the spotlight isn't on you, but it's on your team, on your existing clients, and those that you want to serve next. Be the guy that champions them, and you become the hero. If the spotlight is on you, the world will consciously or unconsciously conspire to tear you down. They might envy you, but they will also hate you just a little bit. You already do a great job of this, just don't screw it up. That's the end of my answer to him. Okay, so there you go. Hopefully that was helpful in some...
These devices are fucking shit. I'm so pissed off at them. You know, I actually threw my middle daughter's cell phone across the house a week and a half ago. The damn thing did not break. Apple has a better glass feature now, it doesn't break as easy. It's a problem. It's sincerely a problem. And nowhere more do I see it also in our industry. We talk about ourselves too much. And we put our laundry out there too much. And you have to ask yourself, is it affecting your business? And I'm going to give you another real example. I served the real estate industry last year, and I had to go to Vancouver, San Diego, France, New York, and Calgary. And Trev posted me. And I had somebody say to me, wow, you really travel. You're really like making it big. You're really, and I had to explain myself. I had to explain myself that, no, I was flown there and I was representing the industry. For everything that we do, you always have to think, is there an opposite reaction to what we do? Does that make sense? Like for everything that you take thing one. So I'm married, by the way, 18 years. I discovered that I'm not always right. She sees things completely differently than the way I see things. And I have to listen 2 times more than what I speak to understand exactly what she's trying to feel through me while I use words. You know, I mean, you guys all are nodding and laughing here because same thing, with everything we post, what's it doing? When I saw this post, I had to share it with you. Now you're wondering, these posts, are they available? You'll never be able to see this post again unless I email it to you. Because these posts all expire within 72 hours. So the way Darren Hardy has his video set up, if you don't watch it in 3 days and you click on it, it's expired. I have a brilliant community social media manager right here, who are able to rip it and download it for me so I can, share it with you at this meeting. But the reality is they just disappear after 3 days. Well, he says if you're committed to your life and you're committed to watching and doing it, you'll make it a habit every single day. Like you will watch it every day. And you have 3 days to watch it. You have 3 days to watch it. And studies have proven that if you don't watch it within a day, you have half the chance of watching it. In 2 days, even half of that of watching it. In 3 days, you're not going to watch it. Come on, I have 38 unread emails that I've been carrying around for 3 weeks. Because I want to get to them. They're to-dos. And we're going to watch a video? I mean, so that's how he does it. But the reason why I'm sharing this information with you is I wanted you guys to really think about your business and think about what you're posting and what you're not. Are you thinking about your client, or is it too much on you? And it's from a caring side I'm sharing this with you. The Amazon effect. We talked about Zillow today. We talked about surveys. We talked about a lot of these things that are consumer-centric. I had a meeting with a couple of our staff members, and they said, Tim, I really, really can't get that done like that fast. This, feature or this appointment or whatever it is, it can't be done that fast. I mean, how is it possible that we can get it done that fast? What do you suggest? And I told him, it's not you. And it's not you. It's the Amazon effect. Anytime that you're able to grab a phone, go to Amazon, click on something, and have it delivered in 4 hours, don't you think that that's going to filter down into the way we expect life to be? Okay, so the Amazon effect is to make you aware that your clients are not being unreasonable because they think that you are not doing your job. They're being unreasonable because they're used to ordering something and having it delivered in your office in 4 hours. And if you choose to do your business the way you want to do your business, returning a call in 3 days, that's okay. But what you need to do is communicate how you work so you can attract the clients that work like you. Because if you don't communicate how you work, if the whole world is expecting you to respond in 10 minutes, but you respond in 2 days, you're actually hurting your business. You guys hear me with that? You guys agree with me on that? So there's 2 messages. Number 1 is realize that it's not you, it's society. And number 2, communicate your value and how you're going to work with the people you're going to work with. Daniel, next. Our admin services. There's a couple of things I want to give you an update on housekeeping. Number 1, we had our admin office off-site for the last 2.5 years. There was a 3-year lease. I've decided that the admin services will be back in the individual offices. The branch locations will have a little administrator going forward. I know. Life is about trying new things and discovering, and when you see that things are not the way you would want them to happen, that you make the decision to move forward in the right direction. Something that drives me crazy with a lot of different things is when people do not focus on, say there's a barn after the field. Before they get to the barn, they make 5 different directions. My personality is, I go to the barn, stop, reflect, decide. So I did a 3-year lease. After about a year and a half, 8 months, I realized this is not what I like, but you have a commitment. So you go through with it. Now we're moving the deal administrators back into the branch locations and the accounting back into Bayview. That's going to happen next 2 to 3 weeks. They're ecstatic about it. They love it. Maria, Parisi, and Enza are just over the moon with this. They're completely paperless, so it doesn't really matter. There is a concern that I have with compliance. I know that Barry is a pain point because you talk about paperwork all the time with me and we joke about it. There's not a week and a half, I'll say, that goes by that I don't get a mutual release from you, or Jen, or Larry, that has a buyer's name, but a different name to pay out to. Ladies and gentlemen, if you give me mutual releases with a buyer's name that says, Nasta Harry, payable to Rebecca Printo, I'm reporting it to FinTrack. You understand? I cannot let that go by. And the fact that you're going to tell me, well, my sister gave me the money, or the mother gave me the money, I still have to report it as suspicious. So why even bother going there? Tell them to endorse the check and deposit it any way they want to endorse and do it. Tell them to deposit and wire transfer to their own account. Do not involve yourself. Do not involve the brokerage. It's very, very important. The other point, this communication right now. We love to strive to pay everybody when the deal closes, but I'm going to share with you how it actually works. Deal closes, funds get transferred sometimes by other brokerage into our commission trust account. You know what I mean? So we can pay everything out. Then we have a queue of closings about 8 high every day. And then an agent runs in, and at 2 o'clock exactly, we release the funds for all the closings. The staff works from 8:30, 8 o'clock until 1 o'clock to do all the closings. But you run in at 12:30 for a deal that really closed today, but the check wouldn't have been there for a day or two, and you say, please pay me today. To be nice, we say, okay, let's see what we can do. So we put it in the file, we pull the file. Then 3 more people do that. To be nice, we keep on doing it. Money's released at 2:30, 3 o'clock. Then we get a phone call saying, you didn't pay me today. What are you guys doing? Why'd you do this to me? I want the money. So the point is that the process is that if it's a batch, you can't do individual EFTs. It goes all in one shot. I've never communicated this with you, and I just want to communicate it with you. 24 hours to get paid is reasonable. Okay, guys? Like, 24 hours is okay. You know, maybe even 36 hours. The point is that once we start doing it for one, we got to do it for everybody, and then everybody gets mad, right? About not being paid. So I just want to share with you how that works. It's not a pain point, but I want to eliminate all pain points and explain it. Cancellation agreements. We're getting cancellation agreements after the project's expired. Why? I want to put it out fresh. Well, expired. Like just let's look at the paperwork. We're being audited more and more and more. Like, RICO no longer comes to our brokerage every 3 or 4 years. It's every 18 months. It's every 18 months. It's no longer every, 3 or 4 years. So we have to make, and there's more and more, with the market the way it changed, and values being from 1.4 to 1.2, instead of not closing or closing late or something happening, there's a lot more litigation happening. So lawyers are saying, send me your file. And there's a BRA missing, or a signature missing on confirmation of cooperation. Now, there's a gun pointed at us too. They're saying, did you explain this properly? So I know that we're being difficult with paperwork, but it really is to protect you. It's not because there's anything that I want to do. Who wakes up every day to give the other person a hard time? Nobody. Right? Well, my kids do to me sometimes. They just love to see. But anyways, nobody wakes up to give somebody else a hard time. It's just trying to keep compliant. Next slide, please. I've had the sign. Everybody's using it. And I hope you're embracing it. I hope you're learning it, because it's going to become, it is becoming the choice platform right now for using a signature platform in the industry. We are also going paperless completely on the back end, which means that we're going to be using transaction desks. You know how Broker Bay showed you a dashboard? You can go to the dashboard, your client can see all the closings. Same thing with this. You'll have your own dashboard. You'll see all your closings, all your paperwork. You'll see your client will be able to get their paperwork in there. Everything's going in that direction. I just want you to share with you that trades and paper are very quickly disappearing. Like very, very quickly. We suspect that by February or March, we'll have almost no paper. So right now our admin office is completely paperless. Many of you are not, but we are. Like, think about that. We are completely paperless, but you're not. Jimmy?
So Tim, are all the existing paperwork that's with Global, is that being transferred?
Yes. Yes.
Is it accessible to us?
That I'm not, well, you can access through Loan Wolf right now. You'll always be able to access it. But through the other side, they're coming on Friday.
I'm sorry, Broker Bay.
Through Broker Bay. No, I said just like Broker Bay has a dashboard, we can see all your appointments. I think this time we'll have a dashboard where we can see all your trades. I thought this time we'll have all your trades in there. Not the past trades, it'll be going forward. There'll be just an address and a trade there that you have to download the whole file from the past.
So do we still have access to Loan Wolf?
We will have access to Loan Wolf.
You guys?
We will. No, we will have access to the accounting side in case you ever need anything. But going forward, you'll have full access to the sign transaction desk.
In other words, if I'm going to supply a past client paperwork for Loan Wolf system.
We can provide it forever. It's fully paperless. It's already 4 years now, guys. Like 4 years of paperless files are all
I
there.
understand this. Like
Yeah.
right now, with Loan Wolf, I can access the files myself.
You still can, and you still will be able to. No, but I'm saying that we're not transferring anything into the sign. That's what I mean. Like, you won't be able to go there, but you'll be able to go to Loan Wolf and see everything there. Ruth?
I've gone on a few webinars and I still have a problem. I wonder if it's possible to bring someone in.
They won't come in. So DocuSign won't come in, they'll do webinars, and sign won't come in, they'll do webinars.
Trip for a live.
Treb will probably be doing something at some point, but I'm just saying that they're not going out to brokerages to do that, unfortunately. Yes?
We're planning on rolling out training for the
So yeah, I'm sorry. So we're going to do, like Diana, Daniel, Rebecca, we're going to be doing the training in-house based on how we do it, but not from them. Yes. Next. So our sites are live today. They're all going to be virtual office websites. So username, password, you'll be able to see all the pending sold data and the sold data. We're actually jumping on that immediately. And our goal is to drive leads directly to you. We have a campaign for advertising. We don't have $650 million to spend, but we're going to do the best we can. Is there anything else? And don't forget that we do have myremaxultimate.com, but we have all our service providers and services. I just want to thank again Furniture Bank. We have MoveSnap in the back here as well. MoveSnap is a fantastic service. Just like you have the 121 QA for the surveys, MoveSnap makes your client's moving experience automated. And we will do that for you by having our admin put your client in the MoveSnap program if you give us the email. Again, you got to give us the email to do that. I understand and respect that you have a lot of your own closing, your closing techniques or your closing systems, but I really sincerely hope that you would go to the back and get their card, call them, let them show you a demo, and see how that can benefit your business instead of using paper in a system, right?
Okay, can I ask that if they can actually put us on like a BCC on the emails that they send to our clients, because they've used the services, and then the client comes back and says, oh, I got this email from you, and I'm like, I have no idea what they're
Can you guys do a CC on the agent for all email correspondence between clients and an agent?
So basically, here, with notified users about, some of the things that we want them. This is why we can't see all emails, through the trustee, so, a lot of my things are shared back there, shared with, their user or anyone else. So, the way we can notify the users is letting the concierge reach out to you, telling you that, okay, Josh, I'm right now, or keep you updated.
I've never gotten an update, and that's why I stopped using it as a service. So what I've noticed is that the office does this, and then I get my clients calling and being like, oh, I got this, oh, thanks for this thing, and I have no idea what they're talking about.
Let me take you apart now, get maybe people that can have technologies out, maybe the should be sent to the managers.
Yeah, I just think that
Maybe it's coming to us instead of going to you. But what we can do is, if you don't mind giving the card.
No, I have no problem with that. I just think that services that the office is providing, the problem is that I don't want communication between the office and my clients happening on my behalf without me knowing what the communication is.
Yeah. So our office is not communicating back to your client, but probably an email coming back to us, and then we have to forward it to you if we're getting it. I don't know if we're getting it or not, Naz. The great thing what I heard right now, the great thing I heard is that this is awesome, thank you, Naz. This is awesome, thank you. I just got this, Naz, thank you. Which is great. No, I know, I get it. But my point is, that's a good thing, right? The good thing is that once we fix that part, once they fix it, that part, now you have the wow factor only without, and knowing what's going on, right? So, and I want to also thank SafeFirst for being here. We have TD as well that are here helping us. And they also have a draw, so don't forget to put your card in the back before you go for the draw. And I also want to thank the gift. I can't remember your company name, I'm really sorry.
Connections Media.
Connections Media. So they do gifts, and like it's on the wall there. It's really, really cool. And I want to thank Mr. Silver here for introducing them to us. And please go and get some information from them. Next slide. And lastly, this is my closing slide. I hope you find it useful.
Welcome to Darren Daily, the #1 morning program to jumpstart your success and help you become better every day. I saw a documentary recently that once again washes away any whines, moans, complaints, or excuses that I might have for why I'm not living up to my much greater potential. The documentary is called The Iron Man of Kansas. It is a remarkable story of courage and determination that nearly 100 years ago still has the ability to inspire. Glenn Cunningham was like any other kid growing up in Kansas. He had learned the value of hard work at an early age, and his chores were doled out as soon as one could walk. And soon, one bitterly cold February morning in 1916, 7-year-old Glenn accompanied his brother Floyd on a 2-mile trek to the schoolhouse to light the stove for the morning's classes. It was a chore the boys had previously done on several occasions. This morning, however, something went terribly wrong. The kerosene container used to soak the logs had been mistakenly filled with gasoline. When Floyd dropped a match into the stove, it exploded, engulfing the two boys in flames. His clothes saturated with gasoline and still burning, Glenn ran the 2 miles back home. It would be the last time that he ran or walked for 3 years. The explosion had ravaged Glenn's lower body. The flesh on his knees and shins had been eaten away by the flames. The toes on his left foot were gone, and the arch severely damaged. His right leg was grossly misshapen, now a full 2 inches shorter than the left. Doctors proclaimed him more dead than alive. They recommended amputation. But Glenn's mother refused to let her little boy lose his legs, not when he had already suffered so much, a devastating loss. His friend Floyd later died from complications of his injuries. After drifting in and out of consciousness, Glenn awoke to unspeakable pain. He could not move his legs, but he could hear. He overheard whispered conversations between his mother and the doctors. He heard them say that he would likely not survive. And if he did, he would surely never walk again. Glenn Cunningham was about to prove them wrong on both counts. After weeks in the hospital, Glenn returned home, his legs bandaged and lifeless. His parents began a daily routine of massaging his legs to stretch the muscles and to restore the suppleness of his lower limbs. He said, "It hurt like mad, especially when my father stretched my legs." In the summer of 1919, 3 years after the explosion, Glenn began crawling across the yard. Then he began dragging himself along a picket fence, willing his legs to function. Slowly, over a period of months, aided by his mother's encouragement and his father's belief that he should never quit trying, Glenn began to walk. And during those grueling workouts, he made a discovery. It hurt like thunder to walk, he said, but it didn't hurt when he ran. So for the next 6 years, he ran everywhere. During one of his runs, he passed by a local drugstore. He saw medals hanging in the window. They were to be awarded to the best mile runners at the upcoming local farmers fair. It was the motivation that he needed. He entered the race and he won, and he kept on running, right into the record books and into the hearts of the Depression-era Americans looking for inspiration. Glenn Cunningham is considered to be one of the greatest American milers ever. At Elkhart High School, he set a national record for the mile. At the University of Kansas, he set conference records in the half mile and the mile during the 1931-32 season. And then he went on to smash the NCAA record at the National Collegiate Meet, running the mile in 4 minutes, 11 seconds. Sometimes victory comes in simply having the courage to run the race, in fighting through the pain that hurts like thunder, and never, ever quitting on yourself. Never, ever quitting on yourself is what Glenn said. He said, remember that. No matter the excuses, you can overcome. You can rise again. You can achieve far beyond your current imagination. Just get up and run.
So let's be iron people. Let's sprint and let's run through the fall market. Okay? Let's make the fall market the best market you've had in this whole year. I really believe it's going to be a great market. And whenever I think of people having tough times, or these things are amazing. Just go to darrenhardy.com, subscribe, share it with friends. They're just a little bit of a tidbit. I don't even watch the videos. You know what I do? I hop in the car, I drop off my kids. Sometimes my kids are saying, "Oh, it's Darren again." But I'm in the car and actually driving them to school, or I'm driving to the office, and I press play on the email. And it's only 2 minutes. It's only 3 minutes. Sometimes it's only 45 seconds. But I guarantee you, and I'll bet you, that if you listen to a week, after a week, come back to me and tell me that I'm wrong, that what you heard a certain morning was not useful that day. Prove me wrong. Anyways, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here